Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and today we're going to do another sharp practice battle, and today is the incident of the Fort Blag tree party. We've got the British in defence of the small settlement, and we've got the Christmas tree that is due to be dressed in the objective area there. So it's one of the scenarios out of the book, and that's the objective. The British deployment zone is behind the Christmas tree, well, is a Christmas tree. The French raiding party is, their primary deployment zone is here, and their secondary deployment zone, because they've got a movable deployment zone, is in the wood. That's the darker green tree on the base there. So let's have a look at what armies we're using today. The French today is being controlled by Major Lavache, and it comprises of 2 units of French Marines, Le Marines Bleu and the Marines Rouge even. And then what's with them are 2 units of Indians. I had a look on the forum, and they were looking at altering the Indians down to 6, a unit of 6, and being a little bit better shot than tribes. So I've put these ones for this game as irregular skirmishers, so they get a +1 if they're firing from cover. So that's the French. The leader is just out of the French Indian War Corps troop list in the book. So that's the French today. My additional support is a movable deployment zone, a specialist, and upgrading 1 leader to the next level. So that's the Indian chief. So let's have a look at the British. So here we have the British. There's a mix of figures here. The ones on the right have been painted by John from Strong Oak Painting. He's had these for some time, so he's painted them up for this. I believe they're going to go on eBay fairly soon. So we've got 2 regular units of British under the command of Ponsonby Smog, and he has a musician with him today. So we've got 2 regular units of British. We've got 1 unit of Rangers, Provincial Rangers, and we've got a unit of Indians. And the additional support was the musician, and also one of them is a specialist in the Rangers. So it should be interesting. So those are the armies. We're going to go now and start putting them onto the board. Well, turn 1 was very quick. The first card out was Leader 4 for the British, which was Tumeshume, which is the Indian chief, and he has brought his troops on. And then the second card up was a tipping card. So no flags up, no nothing. We'll move into turn 2 very shortly. First card of the next turn is the Leader 1 of the French. So Major Lavache and the Marines. It's a real tricky one, because I can deploy 12 inches. Well, it could be even 18 inches, which would probably put me up at the fence. But then if the British deployed behind the wall and used cards and flags, they could decimate me. But if I got the flags up, I could possibly be across and into it. Really difficult decision to make. It would really be playing my hand right from the word go, and I could take a real big battering. So I probably won't go for it. As I decided not to bring on my Leader 1, my Leader 2 came up next, and he's attached to that group, so he's not coming on. 2 cards apiece, and then Tiffin came up. So John's going to move his Indians. He's got an activation for them. In fact, he's got 2 activations, hasn't he, for the cards. First one out, Leader 4. So the Indians have moved again. They are moving around, and then a blue flag, red flag, and then Leader 1, which is the British main man, Major Ponsonby Smog. And Here he is, deploying his troops behind the hard cover to protect the Christmas tree. End of turn 3, and Major Lavash has come on, and he is advancing the Marines up through the woods. There's a bit of cover against the British behind the wall. The Indians over here got activated, and they've... what did they do?
They advanced.
They advanced? Oh right, they advanced over there, didn't they? And that's about it. And the tiffin cards come up for end of turn 3. John decided to keep his Rangers off as a tactical reserve, which is quite a smart move, I think. And we're going to now move into turn 4. The leader 3 card for the French came up, and the Indians have deployed and taken a shot at the opposing Indians. We only managed to kill one, because half of them were shooting through hard cover. Didn't put any shock on, so we killed one. John just rolled for the leader, because skirmishers can lose a man on one or under, and he did get 1 wound because they were being shot at by skirmishers. Got 1 wound and rolled a 1. Because he rolled a 1, he got a wound, but he's only a light wound. Yep. But something bad happens, so you got to do a roll on the table.
So he's a leader 2, wasn't he originally? So
he
got wounded. So I rolled a 6, which means I lose -2 on my.
Oh, on your.
On my.
We've gone for 9 morale points each. So John's just lost 2 there. That was quite a big blow for his Indian man getting a wound. Next card out was leader 3 for the British, and that was the Rangers. And they've come on. They've got a marksman in there. So we're just having a quick read of what the marksman does. And he's going to take a shot at the Indians at the front of the wood here, closest to him, because that's the one who the leader is attached to. So he's obviously hoping for a quick snipe of the Indian chief. So the Major Lavash has moved up the Marines and taken a shot at the British behind the wall, and has killed 1 to the left-hand unit and 2 to the right-hand unit, and then put 2 points of shock in each, which was quite a good shooting for them. The British officer took a second in command took a wound, so a light wound, but he's still there. So that's going to be a roll on the bad things happen chart for a level 1 wounded. But that does mean that the French have fired for this turn, and as I use the 2 cards, I've got no possibility of activating another unit in this turn. But John has got 2 cards that he hasn't used yet.
Status 1 leader wounded. 3, 1 point.
1 point.
And down to 6.
Down to 6. So tiffin card came out, and there was 2 red flags left. So John activated the British formation, and they fired and reloaded. They only managed to kill 1 of the Marines, but as they're light infantry, it's their first casualty, so they don't get the kill on them. So counted as good skirmishers, so they can they just get that one first casualty free. So they're still at the full strength. The next card he used was for the Indians, who moved behind the hedge and took a shot at the Indians in the woods and missed. So we're moving now. I think it must be turn 6. Hard to. I need a turn marker really to keep an eye on what's going on. So 3 flags have come up in a row. So it's going to be John rolling for his British formation on the random firing event chart. Roll it away.
Where do you want to roll? Just
yeah, lob it in there. So it's a 9, and on the chart. Oh dear.
Again.
What?
Charge them to hell.
Charge them to hell. Oh no!
Oh, dear.
Oh, those British, they're reckless fools.
Basically it says, inspired by their volley and convinced the enemy is done for, the firers surge forward 2d6. If they make contact, they fight fisticuffs immediately and are counted as aggressive in the first round of fight. Same as my Rangers last time.
Yeah, same as Rangers. All right, okay.
They're not going to reach you this time.
They're not going to reach this time. No. How far are you going?
Well, I presume I reduced. Do I reduce down to the wall?
I don't know. I would say so.
Because it says you lose the lowest dice, don't you?
Lowest dice.
So I go 4 inches.
Oh no, lowest or the highest dice. Let's have a quick look. We've taken it that he had needed to clamber across the wall first off to get over it. So John rolled a 4 and a 2, so removed the 2. So they've just gone forward 4 inches. So it does make him a bit shy of getting to the French. Interesting times for this one.
Not hard cover anymore, though.
Not hard cover, no. So at the moment we're at 3 command flags each. I've activated all mine. John has activated all his apart from the Rangers in the middle. But there's only 3 cards left. And one of those is a tiffin card. Do you want to turn the card over, John? See what comes up?
One's a tiffin and one's a blue and one's a red.
It is, yeah.
No, it can't be.
I've got no idea what it is.
Leader 4.
Leader 4. So it's your Rangers. Or is that your Indians? That's your Indians. Yeah.
The Rangers for this one.
Yeah. Do it that way, yep.
Right,
We realised that we'd shortchanged the flags, so we'd only had 3 of each colour. So we've added the extra 2 in, reshuffled, and the tiffin card came up. So we are where we are. So neither of us got the bonus of a 4 flag activation. So we're going to go into turn 6 now, I think it is. Turn 7 was very quick. I had 1 flag for a unit that hadn't activated, which I fired these Indians at the Rangers and did nothing. So we've now moved into turn 7. And we've had 1 blue flag and leader 3, which is the Indians activated. So what's the Indians doing?
I've only got initiative 1, so I can only activate that. So I'm going to basically
Load and fire. Rightio.
So
5 dice 6. Plus 1 for the initiative, so 6.
6 down to 5 because of the skirmish.
Yep.
We didn't do that on that one.
Yep. I didn't get a 5.
No. So it's 1. That's 2 hits.
2 hits. Rightio. Let's.
And then on your. So they're going to
see.
count hard cover, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 6 or 5.
6 or
kill,
5.
5 shock. Ignore the rest.
Nothing.
Ignored. Right.
Yep,
so
that's good.
Nothing happened.
Right, on to the next card. Turn 7, I was holding out for the 4 flags, and I got the 4 flags, but the next card up was a tiffin one. So all I could do was load and fire the Marines, which put 3 points of shock on. Didn't kill any, but put 3 points of shock. Rangers took a little bit of a shot from the Indians, and they've got 2 shock, and they're down to 5 men. And the Indians over here, they took 2 casualties, they're down to 3 men. Yeah, so the Indians on the right are a little bit worried. So I thought I would activate my number 1 leader, and he was charge against the British behind the fence. Didn't go to plan. The Marine de Bleu failed to reach, and the Marines de Rouge went in and were soundly beaten by the British. And they've had to withdraw 9 inches and have picked up 7 units of shock in total and lost 2 men, and I've only got 2 men left and the officer. So if the tiffin card comes out, they're in dire straits. I'm just about to roll on the chart to see how many command points I get. So I've had 4 flags come up so I can activate another unit. And is that 4 flag? Is that 3 flags in a row?
No.
No. So 4 flags. The trouble with this one is I needed both of those units to attack at the same time to give me a chance. I've got really. It's. I think I'm in for a beating if I charge in there, but I'm going to do it anyway. So we'll charge in with the French. It nearly worked. It nearly worked. The French lost by 1, so bounced back 1 inch, but I have got now a total of 6 points of shock, but I did put a bit of shock on that British unit, so John's got 7 points of shock. Yeah, interesting. And his leader has taken a light wound.
Yeah.
One.
There's one off the
force morale. Although the British force morale is 5 playing. I've got a roll as well. Yeah.
You feel back.
Oh, we get no dice. 2.
Another point of yours.
Yeah. So force morale, we're running British 5, French 7, but the objective is that tree.
We're all right.
And I'm thinking that I'm not going to get there at all. Right, tipping card has come up, and we're going to move into the next turn. Yeah, still 7 plays 5 on the morale chart, but looking very dodgy for that Christmas tree, getting that. But we've got the Indians over here, and they're still working quite well. So we're going to move into the next one and see if we can do some damage on this side, the Rangers and the Indians. I think it's going to have to be a holding game, possibly, on that far side, but I've got a lot of shock and not a lot of men. So tipping card has come up, and I think the chances of getting the Christmas tree are absolutely null and void, because both of the French Marine units are running away due to twice as many casualties than there are men. The Indians in the middle are facing off against the Rangers and can't do much there. And these Indians are facing off and they're on average sort of strength. And I think that's probably about it as we go. Some of the things that we were looking at is they got a random movement which was 2d6 to go straight ahead. We did work it that they were going to go, as it was a sort of uncontrolled advance, they would go straight ahead, which meant that they were going to run over the fence rather than going round it. Weren't quite sure on that one, if anybody knows whether they could go round and avoid the fence or not. They wouldn't have got in because they had 1 point of shock, so they'd lost 1 inch off that movement, unless that 2d6 is not affected by terrain. But it didn't say that in the rules, so we weren't quite sure of that one. So that was one of the things. Other than that, it's still going through and learning the rules, which is quite useful. Things about fisticuffs. Hope that both units get in. If they had both units had got in, then they wouldn't have counted supporting, and they would have been a bit more even on dice rolls. So yeah, don't charge perhaps line troops without really being very close. But yeah, that was it. So another good game, learning the rules. Certainly looking forward to another one that we'll put together and have a game of. So thanks very much for watching. A win to John and the British. Well, after that, I think I'll be getting the scenario booklet. There's additional scenarios featured in it. I think there's about 18. That's on the Two Fat Lardies website. And they also do a campaign booklet to go with Sharp Practice 2, so I think we'll be getting that as well. Other things, I think we'll get the poker chips. We've used the cards twice now, and the shuffling, it's okay, but I think we'd probably rather prefer the poker chips in the dice bag and pull them out, because it does really randomly shuffle them as much as we can see. So I think we'll go down that route. I've got some more figures coming. I've got a unit of Rangers to paint up, and I've got the Kickstarter from Galloping Major that's going to come through in the new year. So there'll be some more units being added to it. So yeah, Sharp Practice going ahead. I've got the Liberty and Death box set for the American Revolution, which I'm building up at the moment. So that'll again feature in Sharp Practice, I would hazard a guess. So lots going on with Sharp Practice. Bolt Action, I hope to get a game in at some stage over the Christmas holiday with Colin, once his back's better. He's a bit poorly, so best wishes to him. So thanks very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you hasn't, share with your friends if you think they'd like it, and we'll see you soon. Take care.